Oh man, look at that! Christmas time is here. These people got the inflatable game like a motherfucker. Anyways, with that, welcome to Cruisin 412. Taking a Sunday ride here in the morning time before all the football games start. Today is Ravens-Steelers weeks, which for a Ravens fan or a Steelers fan is a very, very, very awesome week for you, especially that since both teams are in contention and vying for a spot at the top of the AFC North. So it's going to be a good game, I think. So I want to get my ride in early. I also have a couple of birthday parties to go to for my kids today, as it seems to usually go for parents on the weekends generally. At least once a month you got some kid's birthday party you got to get to. And me and my wife always try to get to every birthday party that my kids are invited to, for the simple reason of I've seen too many of those videos where kids don't have anybody show up. So me and my wife have made it a thing to where we 99% of the time will show up, so at least someone will be there for that kid if everything else backs out. So, which I think more parents should take into account before they just cancel stuff, you know, because ultimately that's some kid's birthday and it's got to feel really crummy if no one shows up, you know. But anyway, so that is my day for today. I don't know how long this ride's going to be. I'm just going to go take a cruise down one of our local interstates here for a little bit, probably just turn around and then come back. It's a nice long windy twisty road. I'm probably sure it's been on this channel many a times, but definitely want to get some riding in. Ooh yeah, alright brother, alright. Good to see other people that are still biking out in November here, getting out and enjoying the riding, even though it is pretty cold out. I think it's 34 today, if I remember correctly here. I do have my GoPro on today. So I'll probably have footage with mixed in with the 360. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not really sure. I know the footage usually is much different because of how it films. 360 is usually much brighter, but the GoPro action camera is usually colors more rich, I guess. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm only wearing one pair of gloves right now. Figured we'll see and go. I do have another pair of gloves on me. My hands are getting a little bit stingy. We'll see if we can make do. Worst case, whenever I stop to turn around, I'll put on the other gloves and we'll go from there. I did not bring my glasses with me today, so I might have to use my actual helmet visor. Because the sun actually was pretty bright. Figured it was an overcast day, but that's easy enough to just flip down. There you go. I generally prefer the glasses over the visor. The glasses have a like a yellowish driving tint to them when looking through them, which I prefer over just the shadowy tint. But it all works just the same, I guess. I always hate roads that have been worked on like this with long strips of asphalt. Anyways, I think I've realized something. It's a piece of advice I probably should tell more people. I know I said yesterday that I'm on the job hunt, trying to get a new job, because where I'm at now just doesn't seem to mesh with who I am anymore, and I think it's been stagnated pretty much. I think it's time to move on to get something different, something better. But anyways, I realized while going through this job search and looking at things that, life is what you make it, and there's always fear with change. And I think I stayed where I stayed for as long as I have, for a couple reasons. One of them is that I'm scared to change. I'm scared of going to a new place and being the new hire, and then the new hires are the first ones in, first ones out. So if they have to get rid of anybody, you're always the first one on the leash or whatever. But I think that goes for anything. And I've also stayed there because the owner of the company I work for now showed up in a huge way. I don't know if I've ever put this on the channel or not, but in 2018, me and my family went through a very, very bad hardship. We had a house fire where we were living. One of the cats jumped up on the stove, and it was an older stove that didn't have the burners that you had to push in on it. It was older than that. And it hit one of the burners, and it turned it on, and started a fire in the kitchen. We did not have working smoke detectors, so there's a lesson to go for anybody. Check your smoke detectors, always make sure they are working. But lucky enough, my oldest son that I have, he woke up from coughing from the smoke, and he got all of us up. And on the way out, when I opened up the front door, all that air fed the fire and a whole bunch of smoke came through. But my wife and her son, my stepson, and my 3-year-old son that I had with her were trapped upstairs because she was behind us, and her son knocked her over because he ran into her because he was scared. And they were trapped upstairs because the smoke was too thick and they couldn't see. Long story short, my stepson did not make it. They weren't burned or anything. It was asphyxiation due to smoke inhalation. But after that happened, my job said take as long as you need, which obviously most jobs out there probably would, But my boss showed up at my son's funeral, and he said take as long as you need, and they kept paying me my paycheck like I was still working there 40 hours a week. And this is a smaller company. This isn't like a major, huge company. So I give him that, credit to where he stuck by me and did the right thing. And it's so rare nowadays, I think, with companies that someone would do that for another person. The boss that I used to work for, he went back to Massachusetts a couple years ago, and I was going to leave the company then because it was going in a different direction. I didn't really like the direction it was going in, and I was going to leave with him and try to start a new direction. And the boss sat me down and said, hey, look, we're in a really bad spot. We just lost The boss had just left, and if we lose you too, I don't know if we're going to make it through this, you know? And he asked me to stay. He actually wanted me to take over my old boss's job, which I wouldn't mind being a manager of the place that I'm at if if it didn't come with all the manager stuff, and it would, my quality of life for my kids and all that would go down. So I turned that down, and it went from there. But I stayed to help him out, and it's been like 2 to 3 years, and over time, the management, which I felt that the company was going in a different direction than what I wanted to be with, has gotten worse and worse and worse. So I think it's time, you know, for me to move on. And going through the process, it makes me realize I probably should have done this probably years ago. I should have stayed. I should have stayed to help my boss get on his feet, who helped me through all the hardships that I've been through. But I should have stayed this long. So yeah, I guess the point being is, do things that advance you in life, or at least keep you moving forward. Don't stagnate, because you only have one life, and you can be stuck somewhere that you hate for your whole life, and like that doesn't help you, doesn't help your family. And even if you get paid really well, but you hate your job, you know, as much as people don't think it, you take that home to your family sometimes. I mean, you hate your job, so it affects you in a negative way. So don't stagnate. Don't stay where you are if you're unhappy. I mean, obviously don't quit your job right away if you know, have children or whatever. Stay in your job, but go out there and look for something else. I mean, don't settle. Don't be like, I have to leave because I hate this job and I'll take, you know, less money. But everyone deserves at least a chance to try to be happy. And the thing is, what I've realized is, even if I do go to a place and it is first one in, first one out, and it just so happens that I do get fired within, say, a year or whatever, you know, I'll figure out a way to make amends. I mean, if I have to, I'll go work at Walmart to support my kids. And, you know, I'll go door dashing or whatever on the side. It might suck for how long while I'm looking for another job, but I'll find one. I mean, there's always other places out there that will hire you. If you have skills and you're a hard worker and you know your worth, then go get your worth. Like, where I'm at now, I feel like I'm not being appreciated for all the work that I do. And it feels like they just keep putting more work on us because they think we're not doing anything. When in fact, we're doing a whole bunch of stuff and keeping the fucking place going. Like, we're the operations of the place that we're at, and all we get told is that we're wrong all the time. And whenever you do try to turn it around and say, alright, well then how do you want me to do this? How do we do this correctly? They go, this isn't helping the situation. Like, well then, what kind of management are you? Like, they can't do the job that I can do anyway. If you can't do the job, you shouldn't be sitting there criticizing me. Criticize is fine, but it's gotten to the point where, like, everything is getting blamed on my department. Like, stuff that shouldn't even be, like, it's on a whole different department. They're just, oh, well, just make them do it. They're not holding anybody else accountable for anything, and it feels like all we get is, you know, complained at. So, bad management can really make a good job pretty bad. Like, I like my job. I like helping people. I like making sure that, you know, the elderly get to their doctor's appointments and be able to go shopping. And people with disabled people get to go, you know, try to have a normal life and go take people to the jobs and everything. Is it hard work? Sure, but it is pretty rewarding on the fact of that. Are there people that are ungrateful? Yeah, I think that's anywhere in life. But I mean, the management really is just put it down to the, like, I dread going to work now. I don't want to wake up and go to work, and I hate it. I go because obviously I need to, you know, pay for my kids and keep everything going that way. And honestly, I could probably quit and we could get by with just my wife's salary because she owns her own insurance business and she does pretty well. But I mean, I'm not that type of person. I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to try to scrape by and make life hardship for everybody. I could just stick up and go to work until I find something else. And I think the reason why I've always been like sort of like that, where it's my bed, I'll lie in it type of view of life. And I've been a negative person most of my life. I am coming around though. Recently, I'm more positive. I think, you know, you get whatever you put it into and however you think. And I know it's hard for people who are negative and always, oh, of course this happens to me, or that never happens for me. It never happens for you because you don't ever try, because you don't think it's going to happen. So, anyways, I'm going way off topic here. But yeah, don't stay stagnant in life. Take a shot. Even if you don't leave your job, you can still go out there and look and see what's out there. You might not find anything, but at least you gave it a shot. At least you could say in your mind, you looked, and you know that this might be the best, you know, scenario for you. Currently, anyway. I don't know. This whole process just opened my eyes up to not having the attitude of this is my bed, I'm gonna lie in it. And I did that with my first relationship, with my first 3 kids. I was very miserable in that relationship for a really long time. And a lot of people told me that I should have gotten out of that relationship. But in my head, I said I love my kids more than I don't like her. And this is my bed, and I'm gonna lie in it because I can take care of my kids. And I think my kids are probably for the better off. After I left, it was a hardship for sure, because their mom was definitely tough on me throughout the years. I paid child support all the way up until every one of them was 18, but she would always use them as, you know, a play to get more money. You're not going to see your kids this weekend because we didn't have a court document or whatever. And whenever I met my wife that I have now, she helped me go get a lawyer, and I got half custody of my kids legally. And we had it written in writing on a contract that I wouldn't see them, you know. So, man, this is such a nice road to ride. I don't think I've ever been down this far, at least on video anyway. But this is it's such a nice road to ride. Oh man, that road's pretty shot right there. As I'm sitting there giving it praise and come up on a whole bunch of really bad potholes. Yeah, I definitely think I gotta stop and get my gloves on, so I have to find a place to stop, get a drink here, maybe take a picture for the thumbnail of the video. Yeah, well, those are pretty cool places. But yeah, don't stay stagnant in life. Take a shot. And like I said, it doesn't mean you have to change. It just means that you shouldn't have the attitude of this is my bed, lie in it. I mean, I had that attitude with my ex, and the wife that I'm with now is a million times better. She's the best person that I know, and I can't imagine like my life without her. And for some of the thing, I think that if I would have had the attitude of this is, you know, to not stay stagnant in life, I might not have met my wife that I have now. But I also think that you know, everything happens for a reason. You learn your lessons when you do. And maybe me telling you that don't stay stagnant in life, you know, don't just give up and be unhappy, is the universe's way of telling you that maybe you should, you know, try and do better things with your life. I'm not saying step down. I'm not saying you have to change. I'm just saying if you're unhappy in where you're at in life, there's always ways to change it. I have a friend who always complains that, you know, he's unhappy with life and that everything never goes his way and it's, you know, everyone else's fault. But I mean, I used to have the same view. We were good friends back in the day, but I know that life is what you make it, and it's all about what you're willing to do to make your life better. And If you're not willing to do the things to make you better, then it's not going to happen. Like for example, he works at Walmart, and he complains about his job all the time, and I'm like, well, go find a different job, get a different job. And he says, well, there's nothing around here. There's always places around. And he works at Walmart, so it's not like, you know, you can't go get a similar paying job. He works in the automotive department, so he could go work for an oil change place, he can go work for a car dealership, doing the same thing he's doing now. So it doesn't even have to be a job change. And the guy's really smart. He has he's an electronics degree. He's one of the smarter people that I know when it comes to stuff with computers and electronics and all that stuff. So I mean, he definitely is a very smart guy and learns pretty quickly. It's just, you know, he doesn't want to put in the work to do it, and it's always, you know. Sorry, here I go. He just doesn't want to put the work in to do it, or he doesn't want to do the things that you would need to do to make the changes to try to further himself in life. And I always tell him, if that's what you want, man, that's what you want, but don't complain about, you know, where you're at if you're not willing to do whatever changes you got to do to get to where you want to go. Because, like, nothing in life that's good comes from not doing anything or being lazy, you know? You got to put the work in. You got to try to the beach club. What's that? Arena. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you got to put the work in. You gotta make yourself uncomfortable at least a little bit. I mean, you're not gonna. You might have to drive to have a better job, but if it's a job that you're happy at, isn't that worth it? I mean, oh man, a food land. Is that actually open? I haven't seen one of those in like forever. Yeah, I think I'm gonna turn around here pretty soon. I'm gonna get a drink and let's do it fry. I'm sorry, getting distracted here, guys. Church. This Rite Aid real quick here. No, I'm not going very far. We're going to be here for very long. Oh man, I probably should have brought my heated gloves. Probably would have worked out much better, huh? Oh. I'm going to put my other gloves on as much as I don't really want to. The only reason I don't want to is that wearing two sets of gloves is a pain in the ass. But it does block out the wind, that's for sure. always put it on very, very light so it bends. I honestly think I didn't really break these gloves in. I've only worn them a couple times. That's with other gloves inside of them, so. I think I also wear them probably. Oh yeah. All right. But yeah, guys, I think sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is at least see what the hell's out there. Try to stay positive. Yeah. Well, my gloves. Oh shit. I'm not really sure I like this. I can't see. That's much better. Definitely much better. It's harder to grip things and whatnot, but yeah, you gotta sometimes give up some stuff for comfort. Yeah, but anyway, I don't know where I went off on that long rant, but just don't do yourself the disservice of staying unhappy. And who knows, maybe I won't get a job offer and I'll stay where I'm at now and I'll just be there until I do find something. But I think that I'm definitely on the point where I am going to find something and I'm not going to stay there. I'm just unhappy with where I'm at and it's not worth my general unhappiness to stay there. And it's affecting my family, even though I try not to let it affect my family. It does. It affects my mood. There's just times where I'll get an email and be angry, and I don't want to talk about it any more than I have to, because one, it bothers me, but then like I'm angry, and then my wife's just like, well, why all of a sudden are you angry? Did I do something? And I have to talk about it to explain, to her what's going on, and it just makes me more upset. It's like a cycle, so regardless of how much I don't want it to affect anything, it does, so. It's pretty cool, statue. Pretty funny. Every time I drive past this, I almost went to this high school here when I was a kid. someone was going to buy an apartment building over here, be a landlord tenant for like as a job or whatever, and we were going to move over here. But they never went through that, so yeah, stay where I was at until I went to college a year early. Got my GED and said to hell with it for my 12th grade year and went to college. Sorry about that long rant, just wanted to get that off my chest. I think a lot of people just are unhappy with their life and they don't do anything to change it. And I know that because I did that for a really long time. Like I've stayed where I've stayed, stagnant now for at least the last 2 years. And part of that was I felt like I owed it to the owner of the place. Which, I mean, I still, honestly, it's probably one of the biggest reasons why I still stay there is because of that. That, and I don't want to screw over the other people that I work with because I know if I leave it's going to cause a lot of problems. But I also can't make everybody else's problem, you know, I can't stay unhappy to try to save other people. You know, they're just as unhappy as I am. So maybe me leaving will push them to go try to better their situation, you know? Not that I'm trying to make a positivity out of it, but a lot of people I work with should have higher paying jobs elsewhere, doing something different. So I know that most of the people I work with, they'll land on their 2 feet, probably in a better situation than where they're at now. So I really shouldn't let that be a factor. Yeah, I'm positive that I'll get something, and hopefully it'll be for the better. And if it isn't, then you know it could be worse for all I know. If it's worse, then guess what? I'll try again, and I'll go through the process again. If you have a car and you have a go attitude, anytime you lose your job, you can DoorDash to make it through. It's not ideal, and you probably have to work pretty long hours, but it allows you the chance to be able to, you know, look for places, go do interviews, because it's work on your own time. So, and a lot of the door dashing that you would make decent money at is used generally at nighttime, like dinner time. That's whenever you make your money. So, it affords you most of the morning to be able to go do interviews and go look for jobs, apply for jobs, do all that. And as always, as a B-side, always do work at Walmart. They're always hiring, and generally will hire pretty much anybody that applies. It might not be a job you want to do, but it'll be something to hold you over. Target or whatever, insert any kind of those type of jobs, like a retail establishment. There's always options. You don't have to be unhappy. I know people that have worked at Walmart who are completely happy with their life. They don't make, you know, a crap ton of money, but they're not unhappy either. They like the people they work with. They like helping people. They like doing the job. I mean, it's all about whoever it is and what they enjoy doing. Does living on less money suck? Sure. Don't get me wrong. But it doesn't mean that you have to be unhappy. I've known people that make a crap ton of money hating their jobs. And probably would be a lot happier in their life if they took a job at Walmart. That's why money is like the root of all evil. People stay unhappy for it. Money can make you happy, though, don't get me wrong. Some people love money. They're willing to go do a crappy job. It happens. It all depends what type of person you are. If you're someone that has to have toys, you probably need to have a decent paying job. Sunday mornings are very quiet. This road is pretty quiet, man. That's for sure. And yeah, definitely should have the heated gloves going when it's in the 30s. Even putting that second pair of gloves on, man, my hands are still getting numb. It's definitely a lot better, don't get me wrong, but still numb. And heated gloves would have came in handy right now. Still not used to this clutch. After I changed my clutch out, I got ASV levers for my clutch and my brake, which changing out to the brake has made my braking, front braking, drastically so much better. The other lever would stick, and it was like you would start pulling it and it'd be nothing and nothing, and then like bam, 90% brakes. Like there was no modulation whatsoever. And I figured, oh, it was gummed up inside or whatever, but I cleaned it out, oiled it up, WD-40'd it, you know, made it so it would have been, everything should have been moving and in good sorts. and it still was like that. Putting this on here now, I actually have good modulation. Like, you know, I could put it at 10% by pulling, or 80%, 90%, 100%. So it definitely alleviated that. But the clutch here, to pull the I'm sorry. The thing where the engagement zone on the clutch is further out than it was on the other one, and I just have to adjust the cables to fix it. I just haven't gotten around to it. So I'm over revving a lot because I'm used to it was engaging a lot earlier prior, and I haven't gotten around to adjusting it because I just haven't been riding as much lately, and that guy is floating. Haven't gotten around to doing it. So either I'll fix it shortly, or I'll just get used to this one and go from there. It doesn't bother me, other than just being so used to the other one. It's probably closer to my wife's though, on her MT-03. She has ASV levers as well, so maybe that's why, but I do that on her bike too, all over rev, because I'm used to the clutch on this one. The engagement zone is a little bit further out. I got the Christmas trees out. I guess that makes sense. Halloween's over, so all the pumpkin patch for this farm market. Here's a good question for everybody. Are you a real Christmas tree type person or a fake one? Like, would you rather have a real tree for your Christmas tree? Or would you guys rather have the fake ones you reuse every year? Me personally, I grew up as a fake Christmas tree person. We always had, growing up, my mom loved Christmas, and she loved Christmas trees. So we had like 3 or 4 that we would have in the house. One would be in the living room, one would be in the dining room, or the family room. We had a family room and a living room, like, the one where the kids wasn't allowed to go into. We had one of those. And we had the kids' room. But then we also, like the one year, we had 2 in our family room, and 1 in the living room, and then we decorated one. That was like in our hallway. It was a smaller tree upstairs. That would light the hallway up, which I think my mom did because it was like, oh, it's a nice Christmassy themed night light. If the kids have to go to the bathroom, this is on. But anyways, yeah, you guys real or thing? I've never had a real tree, and I've always wondered, but then I'm always like worried about it as a fire hazard risk because it gets dried out, and there's electrical lights on it, which is probably a lot less now because it's all LEDs and they don't get hot or anything, but that always sits in the back of my mind, especially since with, you know, what I've been through with the house fires that we did have, and we lost the house and completely totaled. So I'm always like, always weary of things that could possibly be like that. But I also think like I miss out on a, you know, something else, something that I could have at least tried out, you know. And I always wonder, like, should I do that for my kids? At least 1 year, get them a real tree. My kids love Christmas too. They love Christmas tree. Like, we before Halloween started, my kids were like, "Oh, can we put the tree up?" I'm like, "It's not even Halloween yet." And they were like, "Yeah, but we could like decorate it with Halloween stuff." So, you know, they love having the tree up. So that's what we did. We had a Halloween tree. We had a whole bunch of like spooky ghosts and purple lights and orange lights on it. And whenever Halloween got over, we switched it over to like the red and green and white lights, you know? I don't know. I think maybe this year or maybe next year we'll get a small real tree so they can have that experience. But I will say the nice thing about like fake trees is, one, you buy them once, you can reuse them over and over and over again generally. Two, a lot of them now become like pre-lighted, you know, so that's nice. You just unfold it and everything's already in there. Three, you can get different, you know, styles of looking trees, like one that has snow on it and acorns, and you could have one that has a whole bunch of fiber LED optic rainbow lights in it to look, you know, something else. So I think the options of the different types of trees you could have is definitely way more for the artificial ones, for sure. And me, I'm a definitely value for money type of person. I'm a millennial, so I think that's just, most millennials are that way. But I'm always looking for good value, and I think that the fact that, you know, that's probably why I like artificial trees, because the value's there. You'll get it over time. You know, buy once, cry once. I also like the fact that, I guess they probably make bases for real trees too, where you can have it spinning while it's on a stand or whatever. I mean, all that is the electronics on the stand. And it plugs into the base or whatever, so I guess that's not only artificial trees that does that. Because our current Christmas tree has the option to turn like that, rotate while it's there, and have all the lights on it. I think the fuses on it though blew out, so it doesn't work, but you know, it was nice while it lasted for the little bit that we had it. Yeah, well, I'm getting pretty much close to home, so I'm gonna probably end the video right around here. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for like and subscribe if you like the content. As always, let me know in the comments if you want to see any different kind of content or if you have any suggestions. And as always, stay safe and keep 2 wheels down, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks.